beautiful Lake Murray State Park in Oklahoma. This is one of our favorite state parks in Oklahoma. I can say that. Like, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you're not wrong.
Yes, yeah. This is Oklahoma's largest state park. It's also their first state park.
Yes.
With the largeness of the park comes many options for camping. So we know that people camp differently, they enjoy different things, and so we want to just take you around the park and let you know your options to help you be able to decide what is the best place for you at this state park.
All right. So the first place we went to look at, remind me, what was the name of that place?
We went to Duke's Forest. So
Duke's.
That is in the northwest corner of the park. It is one of the older campgrounds within the park, and actually the park says that it is actually for group camping. So you can actually rent out the entire campground for your group if you would like to do that. However, when they have if they are like in need of a lot of campsites, like maybe in the summer, maybe on holidays, then they will open it up to individuals to be able to camp in sites.
If you're looking for more seclusion, there wasn't a lot of great access to the water, or any, if I recall.
Yeah, no water access at all.
Elephant Rock was the second one, is that right?
Yes, so just traveling down the park. So we're basically just gonna go around the park. So the next park that is just south of Duke's Forest is Elephant Rock. Elephant Rock is probably one of the larger camping areas within the park. They have over 60 sites within that campground, and it has really a variety of everything. They have some tent sites, they have some RV sites, both semi-modern, meaning modern and electric, and then they have those premium sites that are full hookups. So you have a choice on what you want. I think they also have, if I remember correctly, they have both back-in and pull-through sites as well.
So it also has a boat landing, so it's a little busier as far as a...
So you mean like you could launch your boat?
Yeah.
I would say that if you had a larger rig, I think just maneuvering through that campground seemed to be a little bit easier than some of the other ones. So if you have maybe something that's over 40 feet, that would be a good option for you.
So the third one was Cedar Cove?
Yes, so that's actually right next to Elephant Rock is Cedar Cove. It's just really just like a smaller part, just like a little cove. That's right next to Elephant Rock, and it is really, I would say, mostly for family camping. That's what the park kind of advertises it as, and it's mostly because this area of the park has sandy beaches.
That's right.
So if you love swimming right from your campsite, this is definitely the area for you to be in.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because it's kind of broken up into two kind of sections in my mind. You kind of have the section that's kind of on the south side that's near the water, and then there's a little bit one on the north side. They're both on the water, but it just kind of depends too on the wind. It seems like the wind comes across from the south side more than on the north side. So if you're looking for the same convenience of water, but you're not looking for all that wind.
Yeah.
It was definitely a lot windier on the south side of Cedar Cove.
These sites do not have sewer, but they do have water and electric available for them. I would say that a lot of the campgrounds here as well have concrete pads, and so and they're level. So that is really helpful that the park has put those in. All of the ones that we've talked about, like Elephant Rock and this one definitely have those concrete pads. In the same area as Elephant Rock and Cedar Cove, it's literally down the same road, is Tips Point. It is for RVs and tent camping. The lakeside sites there are really close to the water.
They're super close.
But they're also really close to the road.
Yeah, it's a real narrow road, which it's not impossible to navigate. It's just narrow. But yeah, also too, like the way that you have to point your camper, assuming you're in a camper, if you have a slide out, it's going to be on the driver's side, so your slide would have been in the road. Not necessarily a deal breaker, but you know, if you're kind of anxious about your slide being in the road, it's definitely on the road. So.
Yeah, just like kind of a little tighter than normal. And then once you leave that area of the park, you're just going to keep traveling south, and that's going to get you to Buzzard Roost campground area. I think the first thing that we noticed about this area was that the road, pretty bumpy, not the best one to get to the campground.
Yeah, it looks like it was a little bit older campground, so maybe the road going into it wasn't exactly the most modern. But
I would say that this campground was the best place for tent camping because the lake sites were tent camping sites.
yeah,
They were really great access for that. The RV sites were not on the water, and so they were just like a little bit further back. But the tent sites were excellent. So if you are looking for a great tent site, this is probably the place for you. So after Buzzard Roost, keep going south, you're gonna hit Ski Jump, which is a super interesting name. I still am not quite sure why it's named that, but it's called Ski Jump, and this is their primitive camping area. So there's absolutely no hookups whatsoever. And it's, I mean, all the people that we saw there were in tents, truck campers. I did read that they do allow dry RV camping there. I think that you could probably get water from maybe one of the other campgrounds and then take it in there with you, but there's not going to be any electricity or anything like that.
Yeah, that one was kind of interesting because I want to say I think we saw tents that were literally on the beach, right?
Yes, absolutely. That was another great option for tent camping.
It was also a little more secluded from really everything as far as I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's a limit on how many people could definitely be back there. I don't know what that number is, but it was pretty small in comparison to the others.
Yeah.
Definitely primitive, so again, no hookups at all. But yeah, if you're looking for that, that's definitely a good option.
After Ski Jump, then you go to Marietta Landing. This is probably one of the more popular campgrounds just because of the amenities that it has. And when I say amenities, like it just has full hookups.
It was obvious that this was the newest.
Yes.
Of all the campgrounds because I mean it just had that new look about it. I mean a lot of new concrete pads for the campers.
And the
roads
were
were all
big.
brand new. Yeah, I mean like these pads are like the standard like double pad.
They were massive, yeah, and level.
Yeah, so I mean, again, if you don't want the inconvenience of like navigating narrow campgrounds, or I mean, this campground didn't have a whole lot of trees in it, so again, they'd cleared out a lot of things. There wasn't easy water access. You could see the water from the campground.
Sort of. That's where they left all the trees, was like in front of the water. So if you're looking for a lake view, not the best.
Yeah, but if you're looking for, you got a big rig or just convenience of getting into a park, that's definitely probably the easiest park campground to get into, for sure. It was weird too, they advertised 100 amp.
Yeah, a couple of the sites, I think 4 of them, had 100 amp, which I don't know why you would need that, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But again, I've never even heard of that.
Big rig friendly.
Yes.
So if you have 100 amp and you need a site, Lake Marion is your place to go.
Yeah. Okay, so then we've got Rock Tower Campground, another one of the really popular campgrounds. If you know about this park at all, you know that they have a tower that Tucker Tower that you can hike to, and so this is just one of those campgrounds that kind of is aligned with that. This campground was kind of similar. I think it was kind of similar to Cedar Cove. It had like both lake sites and it had, you know, like park sites or wooded sites, I guess you would say. I don't know how you would say that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So there was both options on those. I will say that the road was a little bit tight as far as, you know, maneuvering through there. We did see a lot of really big rigs in there. So definitely you can do it, but it seemed like it was just a little bit tight.
Yeah, I want to say this one was also in some spots, because they left a lot of the trees there, because again, it's not the most modern one. Some of the trees are more grown near the actual spots, and so yeah, some of these campers, I don't know how they got their rigs in there and like didn't hit a tree. Honestly, it was pretty narrow and pretty tight.
This campground also had a boat ramp too.
Yeah.
For at the Rock Tower.
So it was a little busier just because of that, but
yeah. Well, and you know what? If you're camping, you have a boat too.
Oh yeah.
You know, you want that convenience of being
Super
able
easy.
to have both of those at the same place, and so definitely a good
Yep.
spot
All good.
for it. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got one more to share with you, and that's going to be Martin's Landing campground. Again, just another campground that had those lakeside views, and they were probably maybe the most impressive lakeside views that we saw, just with the opportunity to be able to camp like so close to the water and get those like really nice views. One of the things that we did kind of see was that the sites just seemed like they were a little bit closer together than some of the other campgrounds.
Was this the campground where when you roll up on, I think it's 77 is the main road there that goes around the lake? Is it 77? Was this the one where like the tent campers were literally like on the road?
Yes,
And
because it had the beach, the swim beach.
yeah, the swim
right?
beach. Is this Martin's Landing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that was the only thing that was kind of interesting about that one, is that when you're on 75, you start seeing cars that are parked on 75, and then you realize that's the day use area. But also too,
But it's tent camping
but it's also
too.
tent camping area
I mean,
as well.
massive area.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, it has a huge beach area, and so again, very convenient, very easy for folks just to roll up and just camp.
Yeah, so like the
different.
tent camping, like when you go into the road, when you turn into the road, the tent camping is on the left side, and then the RV camping is on the right
it's
side.
on the right side.
Once you kind of decided or figured out, hey, I want to come here, hey, I want to camp here, and I think I want to camp in this spot, then you're going to head over to travelok.com, and that is where you're going to need to make a reservation for this state park. You cannot occupy a site unless you have made a reservation online. One of the big reasons that they do that is because you have to have a parking permit, whether you're a day use or a camper here. So they require you to have a parking permit, and the way that you do that is that you go online and you get one, you reserve one. The parking permit is included in your campground reservation if you're making a campground reservation, so you don't have to do two separate things.
So you've come to Lake Murray, you've picked your spot, you've had a great weekend. What's your favorite spot of the 9 options that we talked about?
Well, I love camping at Cedar Cove. I really enjoy, I think that it's quiet over here. I also really love the beach access. This campground has the sandy beach access right from your camper if you have a lakeside spot. And so I'm really big on that. I love to have my morning cup of coffee next to the water, and so that's the reason that I like Cedar Cove. Another reason that I really like this campground is that it is kind of centrally located on the west side of the lake, and that is where most of the hiking trails are. We love hiking, and so just the access to be able to do all of those hiking trails, as well as Tucker Tower. And Tucker Tower is actually on the south side of the lake. But again, like just the access to that is always wonderful. And if you are looking for things that you could do here while you are camping here, just check out our other video that's on Lake Murray. We'll link it, and you can see just all of the great fun things that you can do while you're camping here, besides camping, because camping is fun too.
Yeah.
Hope that you guys come and camp here at Lake Murray. It's absolutely wonderful. Oklahoma has some really great state parks, but this is definitely our favorite. So we hope that you'll come and check it out. Leave us a comment or a question if you have anything, and we'll definitely try to help you out.
Yeah, it's super convenient, especially if you live in the Dallas Metroplex.
Yes, it is convenient to Dallas, to Oklahoma City. Yeah, very good.
All right, the end.